Thank you all for being here. Thanks for your support. My name is Christopher Williams. I'm the acting superintendent for Salem Parks and Recreation. And we've got several people here who are going to speak today. And we're here to dedicate the new Teen Life Center here at Southwest. Teen Life Center. I almost said community center, but we are calling it a Teen Life Center. I acknowledge Fred Podesta and Bernie Matsuno. Fred is the director of Fleets and Facilities, and Bernie is the director of Department of Neighborhoods. I'd also like to acknowledge Tom Foley, president of the Southwest Advisory Council, and Pete Spalding. Pete, are you here? Pete Spalding here? Well, let's give them a hand. Also, one of the great friends of parks and huge park supporter is Councilmember Sally Bagshaw. She's here. Councilmember Bagshaw does incredible work on behalf of parks. And I meant it when I said she was a friend as well, a friend of parks, a true champion of parks on the council. And it's good to have Councilmember Bagshaw. Councilmember, why don't you come on up and say a few words?
Thank you. Christopher, thanks for all of you for being here today. It is a real pleasure. I chair the committee for the City Council, which is called Parks and Neighborhoods. And I have to tell you, I believe that I am the luckiest council member because I get to do something I really want, which is frankly to work with you and to play in the facilities. But what I love about this facility is what we have done here. We've brought together the swimming pool, our district coordinators. We've got the new Neighborhood Service Center, and Bernie, thank you for doing this. I know that there was a lot of consternation with some of the district councils and some of the neighborhood groups that I went to before we decided to bring the Neighborhood Center here. But I'll tell you what, this is fantastic because people will come here, they will see all of the collateral things that are going on. This is a place where you can come and pay a bill to meet your neighbors, but you can also bring your grandchild to go swimming. By the way, be a grandmother in October, so why is anybody excited about that? But I'm just thrilled. So having the co-location here has been a real priority for me, and it makes sense because we are doing what we can to run an efficient city. And people say to us, you know, taxes, we don't want to pay any more taxes. At the same time, we know that we're having to be as efficient as we possibly can be. So bringing parks and neighborhoods together just makes a ton of sense. And I just want to say thank you. I mean, Royal Alley Barnes, you're doing such a great job with the Teen Life Center. You know, Sue Goodwin is here with our Healthy Parks, Healthy You, and the swim centers. And then all of my good friends that are here, the district coordinators. We've got Steve Louie, I saw you. I think you Peter is here. Ed Potters.
He's in Spain. He's in Spain.
Oh, okay. And who else is here? Who else is here? But Krista Dumfried in the back, and she is working on a program called PACE. And PACE is something new and something I believe that she created, and Department of Neighborhoods is working on, and it's helping provide leadership training for people all around our city, and I'm just very excited. Anyway, let me just say thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for caring so much about our parks and neighborhoods, and I just applaud you, and I wish I hadn't brought up all this stuff because it's all stupid. Thank you.
Congratulations to Councilmember Bagshaw, a great grandmother. So I think one of the things about being a grandmother is you can send the kids home. So one of the ways projects like this get done, and Councilmember Bagshaw touched on it, when the city goes through tough budget times, one of the pieces of work we have to do outside of our sometimes siloed look at departments is figure out how we can work together. This Neighborhood Service Center is an example of 3 departments getting together and figuring out how we can reduce general fund costs, meanwhile continue to serve the community at the same level. So this exemplifies an efficiency here, and I believe it's responsive to what the public expects from its local city government. And in terms of how this work got accomplished, I'd like to recognize our maintenance shops from the Salem Park and Recreation Department. There's Dan Johnson. They are a talented group of craftsmen and skilled craftspeople who know how to just build this kind of stuff. So thank you. We really appreciate that. We also have other partners, and I believe someone just stepped in from ServPro. ServPro was here over the weekend and did a lot of work in the facility, and we are excited about developing those kind of public-private volunteer opportunities for groups that want to do something, and companies and businesses that want to give back to their community. So thank you, ServPro. We appreciate your partnership here. Okay, earlier I mentioned that Fred Podesta was here, but I think I described him as speaking from the Department of Fleets and Facilities, but he's actually from, well, Fred, the name has changed so many times. Finance and Administrative Services. So Fred is a partner here. Why don't you come on up and say a few words, Fred? Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher. You've been a great partner in bringing Neighborhood Service Center. So my department does a lot of things. We do handle fleets and facilities for the city, and in facilities, we take care of about 100 buildings, and one of those is City Hall. And one argument that sometimes happens about the City Hall building is, so what is the front door to City Hall? Is it on the 5th Avenue side or is it on the 4th Avenue side? It's something facilities people joke about. Well, the front door to City Hall is a building like this. It's a neighborhood service center. It's where people in communities can come and do business with the city, pay a bill, buy a pet license, ask a question, and in this, hyper-connected internet online age, come and talk to somebody who works for city government, can help you get connected with any part of city government and do some business. And what a better place to do it here, where a facility that's going to be teeming with life, with young people, with pool, and in our neighborhoods. So I really want to thank the help we've had from the Parks Department and our co-tenants in the new facility, the district coordinators from the Department of Neighborhoods that'll make this a great amenity for this neighborhood and people in Seattle. So thank you very much for coming today. It's a great day.
Thank you, Fred. So we mentioned how the actual physical building or the actual improvements got made, and we recognized our facilities maintenance shops. But long before the physical improvements can happen, it's got to make sense on paper. And the Park Department and Department of Neighborhoods has 2 key staff people who are responsible for crunching the numbers on this. And I'd like to recognize Margaret Cesena from DON and our own Corey Myers from Seattle Parks. Again, this is another example of the commitment by multiple departments to figure out if we can work it out and to be as efficient as we can with your taxpayer dollars. So thank you, Margaret and Corey. At this time, I'd like to invite Bernie Matsuno to come up. Bernie is just a great partner at DON. I've worked with Bernie for a long time, and I believe when this idea came up, Bernie was game to explore it. It was not working uphill to convince Bernie that we should do this, so thank you for your willingness to take a look at this opportunity. Come on up and say a few words.
The beauty about being the last person to speak is that everybody before me has said all the wonderful things, which are all true. So I just want to take a few minutes to say a couple more wonderful things about this. If I sit and think about what makes for a perfect place for community members to go to, it would be a place that's a one-stop shop. And although this isn't quite a one-stop shop, the beauty is that lots of things can happen here, and some of it has already been mentioned. You can come and swim, you can do an art class, you can play basketball, and then if you have to pay some bills or get a pet license or a passport, you can do that all here. And the other thing you can do is also meet with our neighborhood district coordinators, who can answer most any question you might have about city government in terms of who to connect with, how to get questions answered, where to get more information. And all of that happens at this one-stop place. And from a neighborhood perspective, from a community perspective, that is just perfect. So I am so excited about this. When this idea came up, I said, let's figure out how to do it. And I think if we did this correctly, we tried to minimize the cost for doing this as best we could. I don't think this was done with too many additional dollars. I think this was done primarily with departments looking at how do they juggle their dollars or move it around to make this possible. So in that regard, it echoes what Christopher says about trying to make government more efficient and doing good with the dollars that we do have. I'm excited about this. This place looks incredible. It's been a while since I've been out here. I am so excited that it's available here to the Delridge and Southwest communities, and I want to encourage all of you to come, take advantage of this center, tell your neighbors about it, because there's lots of good things that happen here, and it's definitely for the advantage of the people who live and do business here in Southwest. So I'm happy to be here, I'm happy to be a part of it, and I do want to call out the two neighborhood district coordinator staff who are working here in this back office behind that door. They are Yoon Petrie. Yoon, raise your hand so everybody knows who you are, and Steve Louie. And I know earlier Christopher made reference to Margaret being a DON staff person. As I said to Fred, the Neighborhood Payment and Information Services Program has been a part of DON for a long time, and no matter that they are now in a different department, we will always think of them as a DON program. We'll share it, right, Fred? We will share that. Thanks for being here. Please check out our neighborhood district coordinator offices. There is a fact sheet back there which tells you about all the wonderful things that they can assist you with. So please take some time to get back there. And again, thank you all for being here.